Welcome to Samuelsdottir channel. Kevin Samuels was truly a truth seeker, and after many years of educating both men and women of all races, but particularly those of African descent, in the art of navigating the ever-complex dating world, he was sadly ripped from our lives as he was called back home to the Almighty in 2022. Some of us, myself included, instinctively recognized the truth of his message. Many found his message rather unpalatable. I am hoping with this channel to make his message that little bit more digestible in a more feminine and softer manner. I hope this helps my sisters in the Black community who saw him as an enemy. Being Black myself, I hope I can bridge that gap. And oh, by the way, my father was also called Samuel, so in a twist of fate, I pay tribute with this channel to my father, who is also where Kevin has gone. I love how the Icelandic have a way of acknowledging someone's daughter in the same way as someone's son. So I appropriate the Icelandic way to find a suitable name for my channel, Samuelsdottir, Samuel's daughter. Enjoy the video.
When you listen to a woman tell you a sob story, assume she's lying to you, because inevitably she likely is, or she's not being 100% honest. How about that? And you need to be ruthless, because at the end of the day, you take the responsibility when shit doesn't work. When things don't work, they go out and blame you. So if you are ruthless, being ruthless will give you several benefits. One, it will turn off masculine women. Being ruthless is a turnoff to masculine women. They can't stand ruthless men. It's a turnoff to masculine women, and it's also chameleon detectant. It's chameleon radar. Because so many chameleons out here can play the game, know the buzzwords, but they cannot stand being around men who are ruthless, because eventually they're like, he's going to find out, he's going to find out, he's going to find out. I need to see who you are before I unmute you. Feminine women don't have a problem with ruthless men. Matter of fact, feminine women love ruthless men. Feminine women love ruthless men. Why? Because if you're ruthless, feminine women look at that as security. Masculine women are repulsed by ruthless men. They look at it as toxicity and all these other things. And this is a good thing. Start being ruthless. This is why the beautiful thing about being direct. And one of the things when I was growing up, I was told to be indirect. And when I would be indirect with women, I'd get bad outcomes. And when I was direct with women, I'd get different outcomes. And when I finally stopped toggling back and forth, life became so much better. Any woman who's met me in the real world will tell you, this is what you get. Any man that's met me, this is what it is. But people at least know where they stand. Ruthless does not mean you're just callous. Ruthless does not even mean you're not empathetic. Ruthless just means you get right to the point. You don't like the woman who just called, you don't do that song and dance, and what's the femininity? What the hell does femininity and masculinity have to do with anything? If 5 years into a relationship, you're 25, you've been with somebody think about it. In 5 years, she'll be talking about, I dated a skyscraper. It said ladies only. If you're a man in my chat room, why are you here? If you're a woman this is why when I meet women who are in 3-year, 4-year, 7-year, 10-year relationships, I have no sympathy for women who end up in relationships like that don't work. Let's get to it. If you've run into a woman that's been in a relationship over 18 months, think about how stupid you have to be a woman. An educated, smart woman to be in a relationship for 2+ years and not get married. There's something wrong with that woman. Gentlemen, this is why I say you got to start being ruthless. You'll be ruthless on a woman's weight. You'll be ruthless on her children, but you better be ruthless on her relationship history. Why is that important? Because it is far better for you as a man to date fewer women and date only quality. I want you to start dating women who are petite fillets and stop trying to deal with women who are fucking Waffle House T-bone steaks. Waffle House T-bones. Think about it. You go to Waffle House and get some fucking steak and eggs, right? Is the steak at Waffle House the same as the steak at I like Nick and Sam's or Bob Davis or Del Frisco or Three Forks or even Mastro's. I don't care. Ruth Chris is one name everybody knows, but Steak 48. Start getting women who are petite fillets. Less is more. Pure quality women minus the fantasy. Thank you. All right. If you want to come in, ladies, here's the only thing. If you don't want to be on YouTube, you don't have to be. But let's get into this another thing. Ladies, if you're under 35, you got to be prepared to ditch it all. You got to dump your single friends. You got to dump your Instagram. You got to dump your TikTok. Just get to the basics. You got to get in the gym. You got to get out in life. You got to dump the pet. And I'm going to tell you right now, when you put yourself in one of these positions, you'll start being anti-F-boy. You'll have anti-F-boy repellent because you'll start moving through the world like a woman who is really serious about getting to the next level. Because a woman who does all this, she won't have a problem in telling a guy, I only date with the intention of being married.
Leave the dog. Ooh, I don't know about that. I mean, what would you think about a woman who leaves her dog, her baby, for anyone, a man or a best friend or an acquaintance? I don't know about that. That's a question mark over that. I wouldn't really feel comfortable with a woman if I knew, assuming I were a man, of course, that she had left her dog behind. Isn't there any way to bring doggy? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to spend too much on this point. Just to say, in general, yes, it is true. One has to make a lot of sacrifices for a relationship. To what lengths you go to, that's a bit, a little bit of a gray area. But the principle is correct. Anyway, so the advice that Mr. Samuels is giving to men is so true. Being a woman, I know. I know how we react to different types of men, right? So it's absolutely right. I like masculine men, and I think most women do, if they are honest with themselves. So a man who sticks to his guns is a man to be cherished. What can I say? Hey, it's a feature, not a bug. That's how women are wired. So it's completely natural. And men should know this in their interaction with women. I think it's very important. In the same way as women should know how men react to certain situations. Knowledge is half the battle. Ignorance is not bliss.
I only date with the intention of being married. I only deal with this. I only deal with that. See, one of the big problems today is When a woman likes a man, they'll start making concessions. Start picking men with your eyes closed. Gentlemen, start picking women. Oh, this is going to sound weird. So pause.
From the streets, I'm a bitch from the streets. I get that money.
Start picking women with the feeling you had listening to that. Think about how you felt listening to that. Think about how you felt listening to this.
From the streets, I'm a bitch from the streets. I get that money.
Think about how you felt listening to that and do the opposite. Think about how you would feel with this woman and pick something that's the other way. I know it's weird because I often don't tell guys just deal with your feelings, but guys, you do need to understand your feelings a little bit. So pick a woman that makes you feel peaceful. Let me see. This dude right here. Hey, Karen, let me do something real quick. I gotta do something real quick. Just a second. All right. So let's go ahead sing because he keep popping in like a doo-doo. Karen, unmute yourself. Hey, how are you? Do you have on headphones? Okay. Need to adjust your volume a little bit. All right, let's do this. How old are you? I'll try to turn it up a little. How old are you? Say again?
37.
Take off your headphones.
Okay.
How old are you?
37.
37?
Yes.
I'm assuming you said yes.
Yes.
All right. I'm still having a hard time with your audio. So what do you got for me? What's the question?
All right. So I just want to quickly answer your question. Why is it so hard for women to allow men?
Okay. You're going to have to come back in. Your audio is really not good. I'm going to put you back in the waiting room and come back in. See, women will hold on to male friends in the friend zone. They'll hold on to their single friends. They'll hold on to their jobs. They'll hold on to all of this because it's what they know. Women are deathly afraid of being alone. So they will do things that they know will keep them single because they don't want to be alone. Because women hate to be bored. I want you to think about this. Imagine if you had a job that paid women $300,000 a year, but it was in Anchorage, Alaska or Fairbanks, Alaska. And they were required to stay in Alaska 50 weeks out of the year. They were required to stay in the town they worked in. And it paid them $400,000. You know how many women would never take that job? And men would do just the opposite. Men would run up there in droves. because we can be alone. Hello, how are you?
Hi, can you hear me good enough?
That's a little bit better. Go ahead. What's the question?
It's not necessarily a question. I just want to quickly answer your question where you asked, why is it that women will not allow men to use them?
Okay. Yeah, your audio's still bad. So here's what you do. Type it in the chat room. Type it in the chat room. Type it out. Here's the question. Type it here. There you go. Respond to that. So while she's doing that, gentlemen, think about it. If you gave a woman, let's say the town had, let's see what the comments say. Robert said, I'd be on a plane. John said, I would fight for that job. But you got to understand, women can't go to the bathroom by themselves. They got to go in groups. That's how much they hate boredom. This is why they keep men in their friend zone who they have no sexual attraction to. I don't see the message yet. They're not sexually attracted to them, but they keep them occupied. They got a friend who they talk to about The Walking Dead. They got a friend who they talk to about Love and Hip Hop. They got men that they talk to about all kinds. Okay, here it is. Okay, I would like to respond to the question of why women will not allow a man to use them. It is because the experience of being left after a man gets what he wants. It becomes difficult to trust the next guy. Okay, I call bullshit on that one. I'll tell you why I call bullshit on that one. Well, she's saying that the reason women don't allow men to use them is because of the guy who did something before them. No, ma'am. Most women today are selfish as fuck. Excuse me. Y'all don't. Gentlemen, when was the last time you had a woman buy you something that cost more than $500? When was the last time you had a woman buy you something? Let's see. Remember the woman who said she spent like $2,000 to go to wife school? At $2,000, y'all spent $2,000 to go to wife school, and that was the most she'd spend. Then I asked her about the last time she went on a date, and it was $450. Women shouldn't talk about violence or money, because if women had to actually start spending money like we do, they'd understand it. So my point is, women don't allow a man to. You don't allow a man to use you, Miss Karen. Try to put your headphones back on. Maybe it'll be better. Unless you're telling me you allowed a man to use your credit cards, your social security number, he had access to your bank accounts, and all this other kind of stuff. Most women talk about having their feelings used. Hello?
Hi, is it better now?
That's a little bit better. So when you're talking about having women won't allow men to use them because of a man using a woman and then being left, what are you referring to?
So, I mean, for example, if you meet a guy in your early 20s as a woman and then you allow him to use you in terms of your resources, your brain, your skills, you guys try to build a life together with 2.5 years as an example, and then after that he leaves you and marries himself, what I mean.
Boy, I don't know where you are, but you need a new headphones and wherever. Have you allowed a man to use anything of yours?
Yes, I have.
How long?
4 years. That was my longest relationship.
1 year?
4.
4 years. Okay. First of all, you're in probably less than 10% of women do what you're talking about. Number one, because most women can't keep a relationship longer than 2. I'm gonna ask you, why weren't you married to the guy?
To be honest with you, I felt that he got too comfortable with letting me be the main provider in the relationship. So he kind of go in his ambitions.
Oh,
He
okay.
wasn't focusing on his purpose.
Yeah, she's got really bad audio. She's got some headset. She's talking directly into the mic, and it's just not working.
I'm sorry. Let me leave and then try to come back and
Just
see
keep
if
the
it's
mic
better.
right there. Keep the mic right there. So you were with him for 4 years. Why didn't you leave after a year if there was no talk of marriage?
There was talk of marriage, actually. So I'm in South Africa.
Okay.
He did manage to save enough money to pay the bridal price. But my concern at the time was that he doesn't want more for himself than anything
Then
else.
why were you with him?
Because he was the nice guy, one of the good
See?
guys.
No. I said talk of marriage. And he said there was talk of marriage, but you had a concern that he wasn't ambitious enough. Why are you with a man for a year who's not ambitious? And then you want to tell us that you allowed him to use you. Sorry, ma'am, that doesn't fly with us as men. You get to pick. So now the next man who comes along who may be about something, you're judging a man in your present based on a man in your past. No, it doesn't work that way. But okay, South Africa, this is not working. But see, a lot of women would do this. See, what you rarely hear from women is women who have thorough men. Women who have thorough men or good dudes or something, and something goes wrong. And here's the thing: a lot of you ladies want successful men. You want successful men. Well, guess what? To be a successful man, especially a man that has a business, you know how many times he had to fail before he became successful? A lot of times you want men to just be successful and not make any mistakes. Screw that. Hello? Unmute yourself. Hello, how are you?
Hello. Hi, I'm fine. And you?
I'm well. How old are you?
I'm 24.
So what do you got for me on the topic? What are we talking about? Why don't women let men use them?
I believe because women actually are too selfish nowadays. I believe that women today, they prioritize their own selfish, how can I say, selfish reason, and they don't have enough room to let a man to how can I say, to they don't let enough room for a man to take charge of the thing and stuff. And I've been noticing like with my father actually, who got divorced from my father.
Oh, hold
And
on. You got on headphones too.
my headphones.
You have on headphones or you're, hold on. What? Ooh, audio.
Is it better like that? You don't have enough room to let a man to.
Yeah. So what I need you guys to do is when you come in here, try not to be on your headphones. Go ahead. Kayla,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So as I was saying, my mother with my father, when she got divorces, she just like sold her house. She had a big house. You know how it's difficult nowadays to get something, and she sold it like in 6 days to move in with her boyfriend in a condo. But she still has my little brother and my little sister under her.
Are
And
you
there's not enough.
married or are you single?
I'm single.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm a nurse actually.
What about your relationships?
I do have a boyfriend right now. We've been together for about a year and a half, almost.
Okay.
We do live together. We've known each other for years now. We've been growing up with the same people, with my aunt, because he's been living.
All right. What's next? What's next?
For us, what's next? I wanted to be married with him, but he wanted to buy a house first.
Now, more bullshit. Yeah. See, this is what I mean. Out of order. You're living together, delaying marriage. He wants to buy a house first, and then when this shit falls apart, you blame men. Why are you with a man, living with a man, not married? telling you, I want to buy a house before I get married. They won't allow him to buy a house until he's married?
Well, no, actually, when we moved in together, it was for a financial reason. And
Don't care. My point is, you ladies fall in love and then you make dumb decisions. This is why you shouldn't be trusted to get your own relationships.
yeah.
You've been in this for a year and a half.
Yeah.
End of sentence. Either you get married or you get gone.
Yeah, I had this discussion actually with him, because I told him that I really wanted to get married, and that
But he doesn't want to marry you. He doesn't want to marry you. He doesn't want to marry you, because if a man wants to marry you, he's going to marry you. No man who wants to marry a woman says, "I'll marry you after we get a house." That's not how that works. This is why I say, ladies, let me go ahead and end this, because it may get too personal. I mean, a lot of you ladies need to detox. You need to go cold turkey. You need to get rid of all these fucked up, stupid relationships where you with somebody who you've been with for over a year plus, and you got all these, well, we're getting married after we buy a house, or we get married after college, or this and that. No, you're supposed to get married and then still live life. You remember that one woman, I wanted to wait until I completed school to get my... No, dumb shit. Dumb shit. Cut cold turkey. Social media, friends, pets, stupid relationships. Sit down, clear out the clutter, get some therapy, get your head together, and then get back out here and put yourself in a position to only deal with the kind of men who are looking for the kind of outcomes you want, provided you can deliver on what he's looking for. But you guys know what it is. So many women sit there and pick women based upon feelings. I like him. I like his sex. I like this. I like that. And then you turn around and say, well, they used us up. Why are you letting somebody use you for years? And if a man did the same thing, you'd say, oh, well, that was on him. All right. So why is this important? Why is this important? The knowing that women don't like. Here's the thing. Why I say should be ruthless. Gentlemen, you can have a woman who has an active network who leads a boring life. But today, women's lives are filled with so much foolish shit. They're going out here in Atlanta. I'm out all the time, right? And I tell you, every night I see single women out drinking, eating appetizers, drinking at the bar, getting sloshed. I'm like, you're doing this 2 or 3 times a week, single, drinking. I'm like, why? Y'all know how much women are drinking today? During the week, I'll have the penny alla vodka and a glass of red wine. I watch how much women drink. I'm telling you right now, I watch how much women drink. And you know what a big turn off for me is? Women who drink a lot. I'm going to tell you, ladies, you know how many of you are fucking up because you drink too much? You go on a date with a woman, you go out with somebody, you go out someplace, and the drinks are more than the meal. I'm like, you are done. Ooh. Hey, Free, did I just tell her something on her? You know how many of you chicks are getting yourself canceled? I'll just have the chicken and got 3 glasses of wine. That's $60. Boy. Alcoholic. I mean, just drink. I'm like, wow. Ladies, stop drinking. But most of you gotta drink because your social skills fucking suck. So the only way you can feel comfortable and loose is when you halfway drunk. And the dude is sitting there looking like, okay. And then you wonder why you don't get a call back or another date. The bill was half your liquor. Sloshed. Sloshed, dude, simply sloshed. Now they getting mad. Hermesia, I'm telling you, sloshed up, just like, and they don't even notice it. I'm like, wow. Now here's the thing: it would be different if you was in a relationship and you had a few glasses of wine, because I get to go work that out of you later on. But you know how many women sit around? I'm telling you, ladies, it is a huge fucking turnoff for you to go 2-3 drinks on a date. We talk about y'all like y'all crazy. Master Pro, meal $20, drinks $140. That, you know how many women I've gone out with on a date, and I'm just sitting back. I don't say nothing. I'm just like, yeah, I'll have the lamb chops or whatever, and they'll get a little something. They won't even get an appetizer. I'll have a glass of wine or something. So I'm like, okay, one glass is cool. You get one drink. You order 2 drinks. I'm like, 2 drinks on a date? You do realize ordering a second glass of a second drink means you gonna be. But they don't. I'm just sitting there looking at them like, thank you for Xing yourself out. And then they mess around and order the third one. You just like, dodge the bullet. And they just sit there drinking and talking and like, I'm like, versus you see the women who actually end up in relationships, they're drinking. You want sparkling, still, or tap? Tap water's fine. See, I don't act like y'all ain't been nowhere. I'll take the Pellegrino and this and that. I'm like, why don't you go ahead and order some shit to take home? It ain't about the money. It's the fact that, oh my God. Women's bar bills are ridiculous. Gentlemen, now you can call in. Let's talk about this, because how many men, especially men of value, you know what I'm saying? You've cut a broad off from consideration because she drinks. You're like, it's Tuesday. It's Wednesday. And in a 3-hour time span, you've had 3 drinks. I know there are women who are like, oh, and they think and they think it's cool because they're getting wine or something. I'm like, God damn. Man, oh my God. The dudes in the chat room are like, yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm telling you. And don't understand why can't I get a good man? Why can't a good man come? What? Ladies, first date. 1 drink. Here's the rule. If he don't drink, you don't drink. If he offers you a drink, you take it. If he gets something to drink, you get a drink that costs what his does or less. You always order less. You know how many of you barbarian cave broads are going out to eat with men, and y'all think and don't realize, and ain't about a man having no money. It's about the fact that like, y'all just, what? I'll have the chicken breast. Oh, I'll have the steak Oscar. And you're like, all right. Uh-huh. A glass of Bordeaux. Yes, I'll have I'm just like, dude. Oh, they don't get it. And you're like, whoa, thank you, Jesus. And you'll be sitting there looking at it. And then here's the funny thing. Women won't even think to sit back and be like, oh, here's for my drinks. No, they'll just sit there. Ladies, thank you. To all you over drinking chicks, I want to say thank you from the men. You saved every last one of these thorough dudes some trouble. Because if you don't have enough gosh darn sense to know that you only get to get fucked up once we fucking. If you haven't had sex with a man, you don't get to get drunk with a man. What the hell is your problem? Y'all calling me cheap or whatever. Are you? Hello.
Hey.
How old are you?
I'm 41, man.
All right, what you got for me on this?
It's crazy you bring that up. I was just in Atlanta like a month ago. Took a young lady out. I swear to God, took her out. We went to what's the name of the lounge? 11:45, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Went to the lounge, man. I had maybe 2 drinks because I was like, man, I ain't gonna get like that.
Right.
Well, the first time, and she got wasted, man. I ain't even touched her. I ain't talked to her since.
Y'all thought I was, and here's a funny thing. They don't even what did that tell you about this woman?
I know what it told me about me. I'm not gonna get caught up in any type of thing when you wake up the next day and you like, what happened or anything like that. I got too much going for me. That was it. That was it, bro.
Go. Smart. Ladies, a man with something on the ball ain't gonna touch you when you're under the influence, because the first time we have sex, you must be able to give consent, uninebriated consent. You don't get to get drunk with a man until you having sex with a man. So appreciate you calling and co-sign on that, man, because a lot of women think I'm tripping. And I've heard this from so many dudes, especially here in Atlanta, boy, they get turned. All right, man, appreciate it. Thank you. Bro. Ladies, I'm not kidding. Women getting drunk on dates is, I thought I was bugging when I first started seeing it, right? I thought I was bugging. Like, because, I don't drink, and it's not because I got a thing against drinking. It's just, I went through a phase where alcohol would almost give me a migraine. I would feel like maybe I was developing an alcohol allergy, but I started liking the fact that I didn't wake up with hangovers, and I like my bill.
Well, not to talk about the Me Too movement. Now, it can get, of course, very dangerous for a man, if he's left alone, or if he is alone with a woman who is drunk. Obviously, it could turn out very bad for him. We all know the story. Now, I just loved how he said, "You barbarian cave women." That's got to be the title of this video. Yeah, I think, that's true, right? I mean, a drinking woman. Oh, anyway, I think we all agree no self-respecting woman would allow herself to be incapacitated in front of a strange man. It's a safety issue. You never know what he might do. Even if he's a decent man, the shame of having left your guard down in front of someone who could have taken advantage, I think it's an insult to femininity, There is something precious about the feminine psyche that doesn't allow these kinds of violations. Anyway, I shall stop here. The video's already got too long. Wishing you all the peace, love, harmony, and grace there is. Until the next video.